Good morning, traders, and welcome to 2019. I hope it's going to be a very successful year for you. Anyway, we are still using the Bill Williams trading theory, and we are looking at the daily. Now, there are a couple of things about the position that we're in at the moment which are fairly interesting to me. Okay, so the first thing is this level that we are at the moment. You can see if you look to the left on the weekly chart, you will see that there is a swing low, and we are flirting with that swing low at the moment. I just want to draw the next one in, which is this one here. Okay, and then the last one I want to draw in is this one here. Okay, so if we look at this in context to the alligator, we are far away from the alligator. This is an inside bar with a tail on the weekly, so there were some buyers that stepped in during the close of last year. But I'm not entirely convinced that this is a reversal. Okay, this could just be a retest of these breaks, because these breakouts here were fairly significant, especially this one here at 23,347. Okay, because we tried one, two, call that another time, try and come down to it, and then we succeeded in 1 week, and now we're coming back to test. The point is, that I'm getting at the moment, is we are very far from the alligator. If you look here, we were kind of close to the alligator, then we stretched beyond it. If you look at the distance here, so we had deviation, in other words, and then we reversed to the downside. But V reversals are rare, okay, and this at the moment is a V reversal. So I'm kind of expecting, well, I'm almost expecting this double top to play out. So that is kind of what I'm looking at. Okay, so if we look at the daily at the moment, we'll see we had this bit of a rally, and now we've got diversions, and at the moment we have a negative candle forming. Okay, so let's just look at the 4 hour. The 4 hour just gives me a little bit of a different picture, because we have broken through the alligator, and this could be the retest of the alligator. So if that is the case, this V reversal could play out. Okay. The other thing that I need to take into consideration is the fact that we have had a wedge, and it doesn't matter which way I draw it really. So there's a couple of ways of drawing it, but this to me is the most logical way. You can draw it from the bottom here up, which makes it into a channel, but for me this is more significant, because I've got 1, 2, 3 touches, 1, 2, 3 touches. So I've got 6 touches in the wedge, and we've gone sideways, we've had a break, and now we're busy with an engulfing red candle. Okay, off a level. That is the key to this whole thing at the moment. It's off a level. We were grouped at the top here towards the close. For last year, you can see how the alligators grouped the top. This awesome oscillator is telling us that the trend could potentially have changed. And the only reason it's telling us that is because we've broken above the alligator. Okay, the two go hand in hand. So let's just get down to the hour. This is where it starts getting very interesting, because we are flirting with this 200 moving average. You see the purple line. Okay, so we can't get through it. We're below it again, and we're also below the alligator at the moment. Okay, so let's just tidy what I want to do actually. Let's just bring that parallel to that top line, and then let us have a look at where the breakouts are. Just want to change the properties here to blue. Okay, so the red straight lines are pretty much the bigger levels. This is the previous breakout. Okay, it was tested a few times. There's the swing high, and we tested. So that is the previous breakout. It doesn't really line up with anything else. There is another breakout retest here, and that would break a potential channel. Okay, so the big thing for me at the moment is there's no clear direction. So for me, it's sit on hands right now. Okay, and what I'm going to do is just tidy this up so we can just focus on the ones we need to. These two red levels, and in fact this second one here can go away because that is a level we need to worry about. Okay, so what we have is a range. Now, what is typical of these ranges on the Dow, especially on the higher time frame, is it can stay here for a couple of days, and it can rally down, come up, and then create a lower high underneath the alligator. In other words, retest the break of the alligator, and then it would continue moving to the downside. So that's what I'm looking for. So the first thing I'm looking for is a break, come and test the bottom of the range. Then I'm looking for a bit of a rebound back to the alligator. If that rebound is successful, in other words, it doesn't break back through the alligator, that is my signal for a short. Okay, that could be on the 200 moving average. It could be just below. There's a lot of congestion here because of the low volumes. And that in itself is it's almost a 200-point stop loss. So that's still quite rich. So that's the one scenario that I'm looking for. The other scenario that I'm looking for is the fact that this could be a flat top triangle of sorts. So in other words, that this holds and we break to the upside. So basically what that's telling me is the next fractional I need to worry about is this previous swing low on the hour, which is 23141. Okay, now putting this all together, if I look at the awesome oscillator here, the Williams percentage R, if you look here, we are in the oversold territory, and it is also a bit of divergence here. And this is continuation divergence in the direction we were going, and we are kind of going up. Okay, so from here to there is up. You see prices moving up, but the oscillator is moving down. So that's an ever so subtle signal that this could be a consolidation pattern for a breakout to the upside. Okay, the only thing that's going to give me confirmation is a break above 23,410. Pretty much not going to worry too much about the high of today. I'm more interested in these tails here. Okay, so it's 23,400. I'm looking for an hour close above 23,400. That would give me confidence that this is a topping pattern and it's going to play out. Alternatively, a break below 23,140 is going to give me confidence that we are moving to the downside. How far down is still a question in my mind because the next level of 23,010, or let's just round it off to 2300, is fairly significant. Okay, so we've pretty much got a 390-point range at the moment. So that's the one way of looking at it. So yeah, I'm kind of in two minds at the moment. The way I'm going to play this really is looking for a break of these two fractals. So let's just get down to the half hour. That'll be a little bit clearer and you'll see what I mean. So here's my bottom trend line. You can see we are flirting with it again. Okay, we have pulled through it, and you can see we're busy with these third half hour bar, which is flirting with this trend line. So yeah, I don't have a bias at the moment, to be honest with you. So this is really a situation of watch these fractal levels. Okay, we've got this daily gap here as well. So it wouldn't surprise me to see let's just get a flat line here. It really wouldn't surprise me to see this bottom trend line, this bottom gap get closed. Okay, so in other words, what we think is a flat bottom triangle actually not be. Okay, and if I line that up, there's my previous swing low there. So there's my previous inside tail, which is an inside tail because price has moved below it. So broke up. We haven't come back to test this level yet. Okay. So yeah, the oscillators are telling me that there is a potential long coming. And my gut is telling me that we have pretty much, I think, another move to the downside still. It may just be to the bottom of this consolidation pattern. If it does break below this last line of defense of 2300, then you can expect us to come back down all the way down to this area here of 22,640. Okay. And then the last thing that I can see here, and I'm just going to come down to 12 minutes, is you can see how the 200 moving average on the 12 is playing a big role here. But I'm kind of expecting this kind of thing at the moment. Oh, you get the picture. So it's kind of a flag. It's on a level. So, and we had this pretty big move down during the Asian session at the moment, 240 odd points. So I would almost expect a second move down as well. And you look at that, that would put us all the way down to there. So let's just have a look what is there. Absolutely nothing. Okay, so yeah, so that's kind of my view at the moment. Total confusion, and probably wait for a much better signal to present itself. So at this stage, I think the hour is the time frame that I want to focus on. It is telling me that there is a potential turn. I'm not convinced that the turn is here. It could be here, but I think you could see a dip to come and close this gap at least and pick up either 23,058 or 2300. That is the area that would interest me in a long, which would be bottom of the consolidation pattern. Okay, the other thing is if we look at the 30 minutes, if this thing does rally a bit and it comes back and tests the underside of the alligator, that could be pretty much convince me for a short. Okay, at this stage there's no clear signal. There's really no clear direction of what's going on, and I think watch these fractal levels. So watch this previous high here, red line of 23,390 or 23,400 area, somewhere around there. And the next thing to do is to watch what happens. If this does move to the downside, watch what happens. Somewhere between 23,060 and 2300, because I suspect you'll get buyers stepping in this area. And I'd like to trade from, I'd like to get in along at that point. Or alternatively, I move to the upside and get a short in higher up. Okay, so at this stage, nothing that stands out for me, so it's kind of wait and see. And it might be like this for the rest of the week. So in other words, the volumes may still be very, very small for the rest of the week, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. Okay, so sorry, that probably doesn't help you much today, but just pay attention to those levels. Those are the ones that need to break. If they do break, you should see something happen. Otherwise, what you need to be doing is look at your 12, 15 minute charts and take it from there. But I'm kind of I'm almost convinced that this big move down is going to continue. Okay, so the only question is whether it's just to come and close a gap and bottom of range, or whether we are actually going to move all the way down. Big thing in my mind is the fact that we are above the alligator at the moment. I'd like to see a retest. So any one of those levels I gave you of 23,060 or 2300, somewhere in that area, would still be above the alligator and still worthy of a move to the upside. Okay, so anyway guys, that's it for me today. No, it doesn't help much, but I think just pay attention to these levels. And sorry, the last thing I want to point out is on the 4 hour, if this Williams percentage R groups to the downside and we are still, the alligator stays above the zero, and we are above, sorry, not the alligator, awesome oscillator stays above the zero, and the price stays above the alligator, in other words, the draw, the blue line, that to me would almost convince me that we have a change in direction. Okay. So we are at a crossroads. It's either going to continue to the downside quite aggressively, or we're going to start clawing our way back. But there's no clear signals for either direction at the moment. So just be patient and wait for break of the levels I gave you. Anyway, that's it for me today. Hope it helps, and I'll catch you later. Cheers for now.